Hello, I will be talking about Zabbix today. And Zabbix, as it says, it's an enterprise class monitoring solution. So what Zabbix is about, or what issues it addresses. So let's say I would expect that most of IT administrators or DevOps would have the following task, is to minimize downtime, actually to achieve as many nines as possible. On the other side, it's minimize IT expenses. So nobody wants to spend a lot of money on IT for some reasons. And to add the third, everybody wants IT to be as powerful as possible. So it doesn't matter how many machines do you have, you need to put as much performance out of them. So, and Zabbix, the way we understand Zabbix is a universal monitoring solution. So it allows us to monitor a full IT stack. By full IT stack, I would mean the following. So we can go from the hardware level, we can go onto the network, operating system, middleware, virtual layers, and logs, applications, and into the cloud. The importance of this is that if you monitor just one of the layers, sometimes you cannot figure out what's going on with your system, or maybe why your application is not working. If you go the whole vertical, you can really drill down and you can actually understand correlation between different events. And therefore, you can actually find a solution for the issues related to your IT infrastructure. That brings us to another thing, is that Zabbix is capable of dismissing vendor-specific solutions. Many organizations that we see, they would have a special monitoring solution for their cooling devices, a monitoring solution for their power batteries, a monitoring solution for something. We have customers that are turning to us with a list of 50 and above monitoring solutions. So their administrators are monitoring systems instead of actually monitoring devices and infrastructure. Zabbix believes that we can't really do everything. Therefore, we develop a very good tools to integrate and get data from other solutions. If you're using something like a MikroTik devices or router devices, their monitoring solutions can provide a lot of more data than we can maybe sometimes collect. So we are able to integrate their data into the Zabbix and then do a monitoring on the big scale. And of course, we can easily integrate with other tools that you use in your IT infrastructure. On the market, there are many monitoring solutions, right? And we are not the only one. So what are the benefits of Zabbix? I would say that one is that the speed in which you can get Zabbix up and running. And I'm not saying of installing the Zabbix, it would take between 5 and 10 minutes, but I'm saying about actually setting up your whole infrastructure to be monitored by Zabbix. For this year, an average turnkey solution, this is how we call this service, is 5 days, and an average infrastructure is somewhere between 700 and 1,000 servers. So you may compare it to some other companies which would take weeks and months to install. So during this process, Zabbix will be installed, will be configured, all the devices will be configured, screens, maps, graphs, everything will be set up and actually will deliver documentation. Zabbix is really simple and easy. One of the things, it's an open source solution, which allows you not to think about the cost of the software, not to track how many licenses do you have, whether the licenses expires or not. Why do we say that it's true open source? Because we don't have any corporate versions. We don't have any expensive or cheap version. For the whole global, let's say, market, we have just one version of Zabbix. And if you go to our webpage, you can download it. There is no limitation in terms of the number of devices that you can monitor. There is no limitations on number of values that you receive. The limitation is just your imagination, how many things you want to control in your infrastructure. And then from GPL, from open source, and other benefits such as no vendor lock-in comes, security, and so on. Zabbix is all-in-one solution. That would mean that when you install Zabbix, everything is already there. You don't really have to go and find some add-ons for visualization, for the graphing, for the maps, for escalations, or how to send messages. As soon as you have installed Zabbix, it's already out there and available. Basically, I think there are just few configuration parameters that you have to set up during the installation. Otherwise, everything will be available right away. And Zabbix is enterprise-oriented, which would mean that it's not just a project of few geeks delivering open source software. It is a company behind with developers, with engineers, with trainers, and so on. So we have 24/7. We are capable of providing worldwide coverage. And by this we mean that our Japanese office wake up the first. Then we have, let's say, engineers in Russia, in Siberia. Then a Latvian office would come up, and then a New York office will catch up. So basically, in this case, we are really not sleeping. Zabbix provides LTS versions, long time support. So for 5 years, a long time support version will be kind of supported by Zabbix. We have a clear support release policy, so we exactly know when the next Zabbix will be delivered. And Zabbix is distributed, and Zabbix is centralized. So by distributed, I mean that Zabbix actually has proxies, has agents that can collect remote information, can concentrate, can buffer the information, and deliver it to the central service. By centralized, I mean that the evaluation of the metrics is not happening locally. All the information is received centrally, and then a very complex decisions can be made. So instead of saying, okay, a server in data center 1 is failing, that's something bad, I would say, okay, let's check all the data centers. Let's see if this service is failing in all data centers, or maybe if 50% of the machines that provide the servers are failing, and only then create an alarm on do not create the alarm. So this approach allows us to make monitoring much smarter. Not saying, okay, we have a fire there, but let's think about the whole infrastructure, see if it really influences your business, the services that you provide, and only then send you a message. In many other cases, people would get tens of thousands messages just saying, okay, the printer doesn't work. Do you care if there is another printer next to that standing doing the same function? Probably not. And of course, from that we have that Zabbix, because of open source, because of our speed to deliver the project, the total cost of ownership is pretty low. And talking about Zabbix as a software, it's pretty heavy duty. So it's the server itself is written in C language. The agent and proxies are written in C language. So basically, this is the what Zabbix, when a single Zabbix server is capable of. Let's say the biggest Zabbix installation is monitoring 200,000 devices. So not that many organizations that have that many devices, and that is possible to achieve with just one Zabbix server. And again, it's open source, so it doesn't cost you anything to get it, install, try, and basically cover all of your needs. And this is just Zabbix in numbers. This is the number of downloads. This is kind of how old we are, languages, and this is a bit of what we are actually capable of doing. And I'm not sure, I'm pretty fast on my presentation. So, and this is the companies that kind of trust to Zabbix. I'm not sure if you know the company ICANN. It's a company that is responsible for all IPs in the world, for all TLDs, domain names, and so on. So currently, all the TLDs It's .cz, .com, .org, .car, and you know right now they have launched a whole bunch of new TLDs in the world. It's being monitored by Zabbix every minute. And actually we are producing results globally. 13 root servers that are located all around the world about being monitored by Zabbix. This is one of the kind of complex projects for us. It's really kind of in terms of the performance, it's skyrocketing. BNP Paribas, Crédit Agricole, Natixis, French banks, Raiffeisen, probably most of them you know. It's just a short list of customers, not that many that we can actually mention. And that's it. My presentation is pretty short. If you have any questions, let me know. Our table is located just behind the wall. Okay, thank you.